Okay, this is a lot of stuff. This is, got cut off a little bit. All right, so Martin is shopping for a van. A portion of the sticker for one that he is interested in is shown below. What is the sticker price for this van? So this is what it would actually look like on the side of a car, okay? Has anyone looked at a new car ever in a lot? Seen the side of it? So this is always stuck to the window. By law, they have to show you that, okay? And then you go in and negotiate, and it's not fun. Who's closest over there? Bree, would you hit the lights for me? Just so you can see my calculator a little bit better. Okay, so you've got the paint, the leather seats, the dual air conditioning, compact disc with FM tape. Now, they don't make some of these anymore, but they could if you ask for them and you special ordered a car. And I'll give you, of course, the Buck family example. So my son Matthew watches movies all the time. That's his autism thing. Loves movies. So I had to get a car with the DVD player. And they really don't make them built in anymore. So I had to buy it special. So my car still does have, my first car, my first minivan when he was little, it had 2 DVD players. So they could watch different things. But that came with that car, because this was 2002, where, you know, streaming and the internet was not a thing. Now a lot of these kids watch a movie on their mom or dad's phone in the car, so it's not as much of an issue. But I do think it's kind of nice, because obviously kids shouldn't have phones, and you might need your phone for the mapping or what have you. Anyways, that would be a cost that's on there. So a disc, obviously, that would play music. Alloy wheels, a lot of people care about what wheels they have. And the destination charge is always a thing. Okay, so you would add up, you'd start with the base, so 26,245. And then you have to add all of these options. So it's really just a big, fun calculator lesson. So 185 plus 700 plus 750 plus 450 plus 400 plus 650. And I know a lot of you guys would do that mentally because some of these don't have, you know, change, so you can kind of do it in your brain, and that is fine. If you ever want to make your calculator darker or lighter, I'm hitting second arrow up to make it brighter and second arrow down to make it darker. So sometimes if you cannot see your calculator, it might be that you've hit the arrow key a little bit and you didn't know it. So that is adding the options. Oh, you know what? This is, so Mrs. Buck made a mistake. This is not an option. Literally. So I'm going to take away from this amount, I'm going to take away 650. Sorry about that. So the options are only $24.85. So if you want to highlight that, you should, or underline it, just kind of really make note of that, because it's a really easy mistake to make, like even though I just did it. So the options of a car, like this is literally not an option to get your car delivered. So these are all the options. But it is listed on there. I mean, it's in all caps, so just be really, really careful. Plus, because like, you know how your test goes step by step? So sometimes you might add this twice. So then this is the destination charge. So now I can add that 650 and then the total and 26,245. Oops. I didn't hit plus. $29,380 for this car to walk out the door. Okay, so these are the only options. This is not an option. Not an option. So really make note of that on your test, for your test, because we'll be having a quick turnaround. This is kind of one of our quicker chapters again. All right, use the option price list provided and find the sticker price. All right, so air conditioner, cruise control, defogger. This is all options. Mats are an option. Radio. What kind of, and again, this is dating itself a little bit. Now it's like all the Wi-Fi stuff. But this is kind of a biggie if you don't have a steering tilt column. You know, a lot of people like to raise it. Usually there's only 2 levels. If you don't know anything on this car, like, feel free to ask. And then the tires will tell you how big they are, if they have like the alloy in the middle, or like just, you know, if they're bigger. You've seen people with like big, huge tires that love it. It's all about what you want to pay for, right? Okay, now some of you might be like, really, air conditioning's not an option? No, it's kind of crazy because some people want it in the front and the back, and some people don't want it. Especially, I mean, very few people don't want it, but if you live in a place that you don't have a ton of hot weather, maybe that's a big expense. Okay, so anyways, the options that this person selected, so we're not adding them all. We're just doing what they selected. So they selected air conditioning. So I'm going to go to air conditioning, which is 800. They selected AM/FM stereo radio. Okay, so that's 202. Front and rear mats. So, front, rear, and is that everything? All right, and then remember, the destination charge is going to be its own beast. So that's going to be its own extra. So $575 for the destination charge. I'm just going to abbreviate that. And then we're going to add up what this person chose. So this is what I mean by like a mental game, like 800, 821. Maybe you can do 837, and then maybe you need your calculator. 837 plus 202. Right here. The options selected are air conditioner, stereo radio, front and rear mats. All right. So that was $1039, and then the base price is $16,832. So you're going to add up your $16,832 plus $1039 plus $575 for a nice base price of $18,000, not base price, total price $446. So then when you talk about financing, this is what you're financing. If you're talking about money down, this is your money down. Okay. Okay, so I am going to do a second section today. So we're going to talk about 9.2 next. All right, so 9.2 is dealer cost. Automobile dealers pay less than the sticker price for both the basic and the options. Okay, so this is how they make their money. Consumer magazines often report the dealer's cost as a % of the sticker price. So you may save money when purchasing a new automobile by making an offer that is higher than the estimated dealer's cost but lower than the sticker price. Okay? So just like everything else that has changed in the last decade, or obviously, not obviously, but also since 2020, a lot of people do buy their cars online and kind of do the negotiating that way. It's not as it used to be in the old-fashioned way. But for many of us, it still is. You go into there, you're negotiating. So whatever the dealer pays, and I'm just going to say anything that you buy, right? Or if you turn around and sell something. So like I know one of our teachers, Mr. Vale's son, rehabs guitars. So he buys a guitar, fixes it up, and flips it. People do it with houses. People do it with cars. So like, let's say I bought a car for $1,000 because I'm a junkhead and I can fix it up. And then I fix it up. I put, and this is, does anyone watch American Pickers? Yeah. So this is what they do, right? They pick it. It's usually a sign. I don't get how some people want to buy half the crap they buy, but they do. So let's say I do it. I invest $500 in this item, and then I sell it for $2,000, sorry. So this is my investment, this is my cost, so I'm going to make $500. But let's say I fixed it up really nice, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start at 3,000 because I know I want to make 500. So I'm going to start at 3,000. Well, here comes Arturo, and he's like, you know what? I'll offer you 2,500, and you're like, okay. Or maybe they say, 2,000, and then you're like, no, because I want to make a little bit more. So then you're doing the deal. So if you settle on 2,500, you've made $1,000. Okay. So this is what everybody does, whether you're reselling it you yourself on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay or on, whatever other, what's another site? What's the shoe site that people always resell shoes on?
It's, OfferUp.
OfferUp. Yeah. OfferUp. That's a good one too. All right. So lots of platforms now. So this is what new makeup is so marked up, ladies. We know this, right? Makeup, perfume, fragrance, guys with cologne. Those have huge markups. All right. It's just that you can't go into like Macy's or wherever, or like a department store and negotiate. But maybe if you're at a OfferUp site, all right, or Amazon has a store, right? Have you ever seen that dump store? It's in Orland. What's it called? It's right near FedEx and that Warhammers and Ulta. Are you with me at the strip mall? Here's Ulta. There's the golf store. There's Warhammers. I know Carter's is over here. That might be going out of business. Best Buy is like way over here. Are you with me? Does anyone know what that Amazon store is called? Anyway, it's like a dump store. So let's say on Tuesdays, they have all Amazon returns that they cannot resell, right? And a lot of people return things to Amazon. So they dump them. So on Tuesday, everything is $8. On Wednesday, it's $7. Thursday is $6, 5, 4, 3, 2, till they're back to Monday. And then everything's $1. It's pretty cool. So if you're there on a Monday and you happen to find something, it's $1. But if you're there on Tuesday when they dump it, there's more nice stuff, all right? But I'll have to drive by that on my way home, see what that's actually called. That's a real thing. So all that to say, I'm trying to give you that car companies do this, right? So they buy a car for $30,000. They have a price up, okay, an markup. And let's say they put it up there for $40,000. All right. And then the options, blah, 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 destination charge, you cannot negotiate. But that's where you haggle. So you kind of have an idea of what they paid for it, and then they overpriced it because there are some people who pay full price. They don't want to haggle, or they're not very good at it. And so then, the profit is somewhere in the middle. All right. Anyone do anything like that? Anyone sell things? Yeah? What do you sell?
I do like dirt bikes and stuff.
Ooh. So you fix them up? Nice. Did you compete?
No.
No.
Like ride?
Yeah?
Well, I know how to ride, but like never like motocross.
No. How come?
I just never I don't know. I live in Orland. I don't live in the South.
That's true.
So,
Yeah. Is that something that grabs you?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Because
it's pretty cool because I never you always see them and you know how to ride. You just never
yeah.
Not that extreme to you.
Right. Well, plus, if someone's going to buy one from you and they're asking about the race, it might give you more credibility.
I know enough about them. I just never actually done it myself.
Yeah.
Experience is more important. So
yeah.
Never done that.
Yeah. Very cool. And it's an Olympic sport now, right?
I don't know. I think so. Maybe.
I think maybe 2 Olympics ago.
To me, it looks like one of the hardest sports ever.
I know. That's a tight when they swing around. That is. I would agree. All right. Well, cool. So where'd you learn? Who's the? I don't want to use a bad slang like a gearhead, but who taught?
My dad's a mechanic.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna follow?
What do you mean?
In his footsteps? And
he shows me around what to do.
Yeah.
He's been teaching me for a while.
Yeah.
No, I definitely don't want to be a mechanic.
Okay. And so, can you fix cars, or have
No.
you? No. I know it's a different beast.
Yeah.
So, all right. So no interest in taking auto here. but like you did
I
do.
was supposed to last semester, but
Yeah.
my schedule got changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. All right. So here we have a Cadillac. That's $31,275. Oh, so here, I'm sorry, I kind of skipped over here because I was talking. So the dealer's cost is the percent of the base price plus the percent of the options, so plus the destination charge. So remember, that's not negotiable. A bummer. All right, so this percent of the base is 31, now I'm here, 275 times, okay, so this base price is 31,275, okay? The options total this, the destination charge is this, the dealer pays 85% of the base price and 90% of the options price. Okay, so this is the base price. Okay, so I have that. He pays 85% of the base. I'll keep highlighting. So that's where I'm going to multiply by 0.85. All right, so clear. 31,275 times 0.85 is 26,583.75. Bummer, now we have change again. I kind of like no change. All right, the options total 45.56. I could put 0.00. Okay, this is the options price. And they pay 90% of the options, okay? Because, you know, people like Dimitri have to make money. They just fixed it up for them with all the accoutrements. Times 0.9, 4,140. All right, so the dealer's cost is this amount, 26,583.75 plus 4,100.40 plus that icky destination charge, 675. Okay, clear. So I'm going to add up 26,583.75 plus 4,100.4 plus 675. So this car, the dealer pays $31,359.15. So that's what the dealer's cost is. And then just to kind of bring it full circle, the sticker price, and this probably asks it on the back, but just in case it doesn't. Okay, the sticker price, if you watch The Price is Right and they're talking about the sticker price, that's what, like, the full price of this car would be $31,275 plus $45.56 plus $675. So the sticker price that they would have to put on the window is $31,275 plus $45.56 plus $675. $36,506. Now you might be thinking, that's not a huge profit for this dealer, only $5,000, and then if you negotiate, just above it, they make most of their money on the financing. Okay? So they get you in the door, and for 5-6 years, you're paying off this car. And let's say you're young, you go in and you negotiate $33,000, okay? And you don't put any money down. Oops. So let's say just based on our interest, just for fun, if you have this interest is principal, so you have this $33,000 car that you're going to finance for 5 years, so that is 5 times 12 is 60 months at a rate of Most new car buyers like you guys would be like 3.99 would be considered really good. But let's say it's 5.9%. So that's what you're going to pay in interest. So that's why your credit that we're going to talk about soon is so important. So if you, let's say you got a, instead of a 5.9%, now you've got 33,000 times 60 months times, let's say you got a 4.9. Now you're paying, what am I doing? 60 months. Oh, I should have just done times 5. I was thinking I was bouncing over a penny. Oh, don't mind me. All right, 33,000 times point. Oh, here, I'll do the 0.59 first again. Times. So it's principal times rate times time. Time is in years, so only 5 years. That looked like it was 60 years, not 60 months. All right, so that's going to be, you're going to pay $9,700 interest in that with that 5.9%. Well, that stinks. So now you're like, wait a second. Maybe I can negotiate a 4.9% for 5 years. Well, now you're now you're paying $8,000 in interest. But do you see how that dealer is making their money? Okay. Now you're like, okay, I'm going to save up $3,000. So I'm going to put $3,000 down. Well, now I'm only financing $30,000 at 4.9% for 5 years. So now I'm saving another $650 just by trying to put some money down. All right, and then here comes your employer or a parent or someone's like, you know what, I'll co-sign the loan for you so that you get even a cheaper rate. You want to be like less than 4%, truly. So they're like, okay, here's 30,000 times 0.049 times, oh no, because they got a cheaper rate. So now they're 3.9% because they co-sign. We'll talk about a co-signer. A co-signer means that if you don't pay the loan, they have to pay it. So it has to be someone who trusts you, because that's, but like, look how much it's going down by that percent and by that car. All right. So we'll talk a lot about that, but I just, as you are going off in the world in just a couple months, your credit matters and your percent that you can buy something at matters greatly. I was able to get a 0.9% on my van during COVID, but the price of the van was so much higher. So it's not like I saved a ton of money. But do you remember, were you guys old enough during the COVID day? I know you were probably, 7th and 8th grade. But do you remember when there was like no cars in 2020 because of like that little electrical piece that they made over in China and they didn't want it to be shipped here? It was a mess. But that was when my car got totaled. My daughter, somebody hit my old car. And yeah, I had to buy it. So I had to buy high, but then I was able to negotiate like basically 0%. So if I take this same car, let's say 30% and so it was 0.9%. So think about that. It's 0.009 on my calculator. So that's what I'm going to do for that 5 years. So I only paid $1,350 in interest. If that was 30,000, which it wasn't, but I'll just stick with the same example. So anyways, that's doable, right? Because then I have to take a car payment. So then let's say I'm here, 31,350 divided by, this is where I do 60 months. So every month my car payment would be 522.5. But if you bought it way up here, okay, and you had that first rate, now you're buying 33,000 plus 85. And then you're financing it for 60 months. So your car payment every month would be $684. So I didn't want a 5-year car payment. I only wanted a 4-year car payment. So then I took 41,085 and then I divided by 48 instead. So then it's higher, but it's one less year. Anyway, all that to say, we'll talk a lot about financing in addition to like the price of a car. So I'm going to do one more with you, and then the rest is just like repeaters. So you could just do like the first part of that homework. Okay, the base price of an Acura is $40,091. The options total $47.50. The destination charge is $440. All right, so I'm just filling in like the base price with the base price, the options with the options, and then the dealer's cost, that's the destination charge. So percent of the base is 80. The options is 75. All right. So I'll scoot 40,091 times 0.8 is 32,072.80. This next one, just for time's sake, is 35,62.50. So that's what's getting added in here, 32,072.80. Sorry, I can't write as small as Bonner can. 335, I'm just going to put an arrow here. 35,62.50. So I'm adding 32,072.8 plus 35,62.5 plus 440 is 36,075.30 cents. So that is what the dealer is going to pay. And again, keep in mind that yes, they want to make some money on the car, but the bulk of the money is going to be made on financing. But so with that being said, you should not pay much more than sticker price for the car. So I did this last year, so just for funsies, if you added these amounts, the sticker price is $45,281. So this is the difference. This is where you're haggling and you're negotiating with a dealer for that, knowing that that's typical of like percentages. All right. So on the back here is percent of the base, percent of options, the dealer's cost, the sticker price, repeat. All right. So then we can kind of talk about that. All right. I want to hand out homework. And so your homework is 9.1 and then 9.2. You can officially go halfway, but I think you can figure it out. Like it says in this like word problem here that you're going to have, like his offer, he's going to offer, $300 over the price of that. So you could kind of ballpark that. So as far as 9.2 goes, I'm going to have you finish the notes. Does that make sense? So the homework of 9.1 and then 9.2, I want you to finish the notes and see how you do there. All right? And then when I come around, I'll stamp this part of your notes. I'll stamp this problem for today's point, and then I'll hand out the homework packet at the same time. All righty. Nice job.